Good seeing you again.
Good seeing you again.
Before we talk about team news, etc., I saw your video online on social media when you call your mother-in-law, and it's my father-in-law's birthday today, 69. So I've texted him. His name is Tim, and I'm going to call him later as well.
Good.
So your message went through properly.
Thank you. I think it's important.
Team news, please. What are the chances of Christopher Ayer to get involved this weekend, and any other updates, please?
Team news. So everyone involved in the last game is right now available. So hopefully, touch wood, there'll be that for Sunday. Christopher Ayer is much better. He trained today, and will train Friday, Saturday, and will be available for Sunday. And Hickey is getting closer.
Your final home match of the season. How important the fans have been so far in the journey, and how important to have them, with wonderful support on Sunday in this big derby.
The fans, sorry. It's extremely important. It's the final home game against our rivals Fulham, a local derby. Everything to play for. We would like to finish 8th. That's the highest we would ever have finished in the Premier League. So that'll be a fantastic target. So everything is on. We're looking forward to that, and we need the fans. The fans have been very good this season. We need them to be probably at the very, very best on Saturday, Sunday. We really need their help and support. It means the world to push us forward. And again, I think it's together. It's us and the fans.
You obviously faced Fulham several times so far in the Premier League, but because what it means and the race for European spot, is this potentially the biggest West London derby against Fulham you had since you've been promoted?
Yes, since we've been promoted, because we had a playoff final. I think that was slightly bigger. Since we've been promoted, there is just more in this game. Of course, there is. I would say that because we want to finish 8th do well. It doesn't matter if it was Fulham, Liverpool, Brighton, Leicester. There's an opponent ahead of us, and I think it's very important for us to focus on ourselves. It's all about us and our performance, what we can affect, and not about the extra bit or the external noise.
I can imagine the mindset and the competitiveness of the players is always really high, but because now you could secure European football very soon. Do you sense something even different for them? Even more, the intensity is higher. It's like a Champions League final every day of training.
Yeah, maybe not Champions League final, but I would. You feel it. They train very well. In general, we train very well every day, but there's just something to play for. That just give that extra edge. Yesterday was training after 2 days off, which always need a little bit time to get going, but they were on it. Today trained very well, so it's a good atmosphere, energy, positive smile. They train hard, so it's nice.
It's less than 5 miles separate you and Fulham. As clubs, how do you think how different you are, the way you operate, the way you recruit, the way you develop players?
Of course, I know us much more than I know Fulham. I'm not only looking from the outside. I think in general they've done well. I think the last 3 years in the Premier League, I think they really built some consistency, and I think Silva and his coaching team have done well. The players, the leadership, everything, and they just gradually added layers, and I think they have a team in a squad that is extremely competitive. It's a strong team, it's strong players. I think we built something well. Also, a strong team, good club with good players. I think it's very even.
You're now on your longest ever Premier League winning run. What's behind it, and how crucial, how important the timing of it?
It's a good timing, but we need to keep it up. We need to continue. 4 in a row is fantastic. Can we get 5 in a row? It'll be even better. But it's more on the performance and how can we continue doing that. I think there's a few bits. I think especially the away form has been very good. I think the away form also picked up again. I think the away form. I think we are in the last 9 games the best away team in the Premier League, which is quite impressive for a club like us. Winning 7, drawing 1, lose 1, and that was away to Newcastle, where I don't think we should have lost. So the team is in sync. It's the balance between the offensive and defensive is very good. We're playing with high intensity and high confidence, and so yeah, we're in a good place.
Naturally, through the season, we spoke a lot about the partnership between you and Brian, of course, but we must add Kevin Schade to this formula as well. Having Kevin as well in his qualities, how much is helping you and giving you an advantage?
Yeah, a lot. I think the more threats you have, the more the opponents need to worry and look after different players. And there's no doubt that the three of them had a very good season. I think Brian and Johan just edging it over a full season. But I think last couple of games, Kevin is coming very very strongly behind that. And he's definitely in form. All three are in form. So yeah, that's very nice.
Your goalkeeper is Mark Flekken. You conceded less away goals than any other team in the division since the beginning of 2025. The first time actually he kept a clean sheet was against Fulham back in the day, and 8 clean sheets so far this season. How massive has been his progress?
I think Mark has been really good. I think actually he's been really good throughout the season. I think he had a good first season. First half of the first season was tough is a big word, but how can I say he started to get integrated in the Premier League, in the club, everything, and then ended very well. And this season it was step by step getting better and better. But I think now it's more the back four, him, midfielders, team, everyone is defending better. Because if it was only him, we wouldn't have been on only 5 goals conceded in 2025 on the road. So it's the team, but he deserves a lot of praise. I think, for example, the save against Ipswich, crucial. We completely in control on top of that game in 90 minutes. Just forgot the last 5. But luckily enough, we had Mark.
Last one for me. Next year will be your 5th year in the Premier League club. We see in the last couple of years that teams that went up went down immediately, and how challenging it is even in surviving in this league. The fact that Brentford are knocking on the door to European football, what does it mean about the club and the progress? And is that something you even imagined when you got promoted?
I'm a very positive and optimistic guy, and I always dream and hope and push and want to do as good as possible. Probably when we got promoted, it didn't soar as far as we could be potentially a club that played in Europe. But I saw a club that I knew that could take some steps forward, and a big belief in the club. I knew when we got promoted, I had a big belief that we would, could stay in the league. We never talked about relegation, respected it, but spoke about how can we develop, how can we be as high as possible and all that. So we are where we are now is very good, but we need to keep going.
Thank you.
Who'd like to go next? Sam.
Hi, Thomas. Thank you. I just want to start with Aaron Hickey. Obviously, said he's sort of close. Is Fulham a game that you're looking at, or?
Yeah, it could be, but there's 2 games to go. So he's pushing. I think it's fair to say there's a few fullbacks who's more in form than him right now. But I know what Aaron can give, and I know when he's fully firing, he will more than compete to get into the team. So the thing is that balance. I also want him in the squad, and he also needs to perform to get in the squad. So it's that fine balance. But he's training well. That's the most important thing.
And then you talk about this move around Cam. Has the talk of Europe, is that something that's been sort of growing in the weeks?
Yeah, as we know, we can't control it. I think unfortunately it's not up to us, only up to us. So right now we're 8th in the league, 2 games to go. We can win both games, we can lose both games. That's the beauty of this fantastic league. 2 strong teams, 2 even games we're going into, starting with Fulham, a local derby, home. Everything is on. It's going to be a fantastic game. Big belief that we can win. Pretty sure Fulham says the same and believe they can. So hopefully it's going to be a fantastic game with us on top. But of course the players are pushing. I said that many times. Me and the staff, we can push the players to 90%, but the last 10 is from them. That's just the greatest teams. Is the last 10 is from the players, where they within the group want more.
Yeah, of course. And obviously, sort of coming towards the end of the season, in terms of your training, obviously your training is really, really intense. I think we know that. Does it change slightly? Do you adapt your training method at all towards the end of the season?
It's funny enough, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We tried the last 5-6 weeks to just a little bit down on load. The intensity we need to keep up, so keep it fresh, and we also try to change a little bit training, the content on the training days. But today we actually trained a little bit longer than we wanted because we all got a little bit excited. They trained hard, and of course we are still on top of it. But they're fresh, they're energetic, they're ready. It's been a long season, but they are in a top place. Of course, winning football matches help. Have something to play for helps, but I also think how, especially the performance department with Chris Haslam in charge, have planned the season very well. The days off, when they have to be a day off to refresh the mind, what they should do and all that. So they are in a top place.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, I know you have a paddle court. You talk about changing the content a little bit. Maybe go into a bit more detail about maybe some of the things that you look to sort of focus on and changing your training a little bit.
With the paddle, sorry, or
not specifically with the paddle, but only the.
For next season, or
for this season, sorry. In terms of changing the content a little bit.
What have you done differently in the last? You mentioned you changed training a little bit. What in particular?
Okay, now I understand. Thank you. No, thank you. I think we still. It's still mainly on the grass and football trainings, but then some of the training days could be a little bit more competitive. It's always competitive, but more competitions, if that makes sense. Make it a little bit fresher, a little bit more energetic. So it's not only tactical and only principles and all that we do. So that's how we move it around and then do it a little bit different.
Yeah, of course. And then obviously the Fulham performance in the reverse fixtures, the one performance you say probably your bad performance of the season. What sort of lessons did you take from that game?
Yeah, first and foremost, I thought Fulham was extremely good that day. I think they came out very aggressive and played very well in many ways. Of course, because we lose 2-1 in the both goals injury time, more or less. So that's obviously disappointed, and then there's a bit the nature of the game. I think defensively we were very good, actually. I know they had crosses and situations, but we didn't give anything away until 90 plus. So for me, I learned something from it. I'll also look the game back, see what we can improve. But that's in the past. There's a new game, new story, and it's up to us to write our own story on Sunday.
100%. And then finally from me, obviously, as you say, it's not all in your own hands. City versus Palace. You're going to be watching it? Whereabouts are you going to be watching it?
Yeah, well, actually, maybe I would have watched it, but a couple of weeks ago, one of my good friends contacted me. He's a Palace fan, so from Denmark. So he's going to the game. So I sorted out some tickets to the. We actually three of us. So I'm going to watch it. So he will support Palace, and a little bit in doubt of who I will support.
In the Palace end, surely.
Not in the Palace end. He wanted that. I thought that was probably not the best way. So probably some nice hospitality tickets, hopefully.
Yeah, probably was. Nice.
Thank you.
Anything else before we go under embargo?
Thomas, I'd just like to ask, what was your sort of emotions after that stoppage time? 2 goals from Harry Wilson earlier in the season.
Oh, thank you for the reminder. Now, it's always tough to lose a game in stoppage time. It's even tougher when it's again the local rivals and the team that I know is the one team that fans don't want to lose to, more or less. So it makes it a little bit harder, but isn't this the beauty of football? It's just more fun to be on the right end of a game like that. So it is tough to be in, but it is what it is. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hi Thomas. Season ticket holders got their money's worth this season. I think it's fair to say they've scored 38 goals, conceded 32, average of 4 goals a game with the G-Tech. Heading into the final home game, what's your reflections on your home form?
Average for a game, I hope we win 3-1 or 4-1. 4-0 of course, but it's a good team you're going to face. I expect. So now that I think that's a good summary. I think we played some fantastic football in general this season, but especially at home, some games, some super good in it, attacking football. I know the last home game, I would like to say we were better defensively and we still conceded 3 against Man United. I think we upped that game recently in terms of defending better. But I think the fans have been very good, and hopefully we can continue and finish the season off on a high with a top performance and a win.
And you have the opportunity to beat your previous best point tally and also highest league finish with 2 games to go. Is this something you discuss with your players in achieving this?
Not the highest point tally, and we haven't talked about that. I'm aware of it because we're getting closer. The highest league table position we are aware of, but I think we always want to end as high as possible. So I think right now we know 8 is the highest position, so we try to go for that. But both things is nice. I think again, key strength of ours has been the laser focus on the next game. Don't get carried away too much because, for example, the high point tally, we need to win the next 2, but if we lose the next one, then we can't talk about it. So we need to laser focus, good performance, and then hopefully that's enough.
And your record against Marco Silva's Fulham in the Premier League is even, 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw. What's your thoughts on Silva as a manager, his tactical approach, and your experiences of facing him?
I think Marco has done very well. I really like his work. I think he done a top job at Fulham, got them promoted, established them in the Premier League, built a very strong team. I think they have gone stronger and stronger in last season. I know I think they finished top 10 last year, so maybe they will not finish top 10 this season. But I actually think they look stronger this season than last season. So that's why sometimes the small margins, if they don't tip your way, then maybe you don't get it. But they look so balanced. I think they defensively is really good, difficult to break down, very dangerous going forward with the most crosses in the league. So just a good balanced all-rounded team.
And last question from me. Fulham is a club that's been criticised in the last couple of years for their ticket prices, with the fan protests taking place. Brentford, on the other hand, often praised for how they treat the fans, especially with ticket prices. So my question is, how does it make you feel when you see unrest at other clubs such as Fulham and Man City who feel they're being priced out, and how important is it that your fans treated with respect in this regard?
I can't speak about other clubs, of course. I just know that we are very aware of how to do the best to treat the fans. I think it's been a brilliant idea with the ticket price so far from John Varney and his team. I think John Varney is doing a top job there. And I think to manage fans' expectations and everything is not an easy task. It's difficult to get criticized on this social media thing who's out there. But I think we try our very best to treat our fans, let's say, with respect. And of course that goes both ways, which we also think they do.
Great, thank you.
Welcome.
We're going to go on to embargo now, I think.
Yeah.
We will do that. So everything from now.